Don't recall seeing you before. So many new people coming through. Makes my head spin. Not at all the question I expected. You have piqued my curiosity. Why do you seek some random Khajiit? Is there some problem? Oh, well, in that case, an elderly Khajiit does work here. She's a cook, bakes the best pies in town. They really are quite tasty. But she's indisposed at present. I won't let you disturb her rest. That's something you'll have to ask her. It's not my place to talk about the hired help. I do believe she traveled a fair bit in her youth, though. I suppose that won't do any harm. Narani is a kind, gentle old woman, and a master baker of scrumptious pies. The people here are very fond of her, and very protective.
Yes? Who's there? Oh dear, this one must have fallen asleep again. Your face. This one doesn't recognize it. Are you looking for a piece of pie? Belsa? She didn't come with you? Ah, this one was foolish to even send the letter in the first place, or the peony. I hoped the years would have softened her memories, that she might have wanted to see her old friend one more time before the end. This one is no longer the young and brave Khajiit that fell in love with Belsa, and it took a long time to even discover she might be in Abba's Landing. Now I am old and my mind isn't what it once was. Belsa would never even recognize me. Do you really think so? Perhaps that would be best. Enough time has gone by without this one seeing Belsa's sweet face. Even if she's still angry, at least I can tell her that I never betrayed her. Since she didn't come here, I'll have to go to her. Oh, stupid Narani. This one should have thought of that. She feared her terrible family was trying to lure her out of hiding. I should have signed the letter. But you must understand, when we parted, Belsa was hurt very much. Belsa loathed her family's business. This one was a slave then, working in the family's kitchens. We fell in love. We made a plan to free all the slaves, but she thought I betrayed her. She disappeared before I had a chance to explain.
Narani, are you all right? I specifically stated that you were not to be disturbed.
Easy, my friend. This one has decided that the time has come to travel and mend old wounds.
The letter bore fruit. I wish you well, but we're going to miss your pies around here.
Could you open a portal to Abba's Landing, my friend? A long journey always makes this one's old bones ache.
Gladly, but I can't keep it open for long. The innkeeper doesn't like me using magicka in here.
This one will write to you, and I'll even sign the letter this time.
Of course. Now, give me a moment to concentrate.
Come, my new friend. Let's take this portal to Abba's Landing. If you dislike portal travel, then make your own way and meet me there. So good to see you, my friend. Sometimes portals can be tricky. Time flows so differently for a Khajiit and a dark elf. I am old now, but Velsa... No matter. This one will be glad to see her friend again. Ready? Oh, this one is nervous, but I am also ready. Lead on and I will follow. A secret passage? Velsa always loved secret passages. Let's go! Dark and dusty, just like the secret passages from my youth. You go ahead. This one needs a moment.
Did you find out who sent that letter? Not that I was overly concerned.
Someone who lacked the courage to sign their name, but now wants to make amends.
Marani, is it really you? Just the sight of you opens old wounds.
Oh, Velsa, I know what you saw, what you must have thought. This one never meant to hurt you.
I saw you in my brother's arms. He was the worst of my family. How could you?
He arrived at exactly the wrong moment. I had to do something, or our entire plan would have failed.
You didn't betray us? You did that for me?
It was the only way to guarantee your escape.
I let the years flow by without giving you a chance to explain. Oh, what a waste. But I'll make it up to you. I'll keep you safe.
This one never dared hope, but our love is still strong and pure.
Is this what happiness feels like? Yes. I suppose it is. I had no idea this would be the result of sending you to find a half-naked Nord. The last time I saw Narani was quite unpleasant. There was poison in that wound. I don't think it ever truly healed. You reunited me with my one true love, so I choose to ignore that. I hope there's time to share a few lasting moments before all is said and done. All these wasted years, we've missed out on so much. Narani wears them like a cloak, though with grace and style. I am grateful you convinced her to come here. Narani, you must be tired after the journey. Relax and we'll talk later. I know we have so much to tell each other.
Velsa knows me so well. This one is as tired as a tiger with a belly full of tender meat. Come back and we can talk later, my friend.
You. Over here.
Our meeting with Anais didn't go anything like I had imagined. She has changed. Or perhaps I'm the one who changed. Learning your own truth can be so confusing. She was my friend. Once. I am almost certain of that. We were always together, laughing, playing, exploring the mansion. Perhaps when I ran away, deserted her, did that turn her into this unfamiliar creature? I was a slave? No, I don't think either of us knew what that meant. Not back then, when we were just children. I suppose deep down I knew it all along. When I ran away instead of going with Anais to Black Marsh. Of course! We took those memories away from Anais and recovered the keepsakes of my youth. Plus, we discovered how far my friend has fallen. I just need to figure out how to help her find the person she used to be. Unless she finds me first. Now that she knows I'm around, I expect her to double her efforts and use every advantage her family's gold can buy. It's what I'd do. Thanks for assisting me with this, by the way. Once I decide on my next course of action, I'll let you know.
Back to the tomb.
Zira wants...
Your plan is to relive the Guild's greatest failure?
My plan is to get the Iron Wheel's boot off our necks.
I don't know why we're here, but I don't think I've ever seen Vilsa this concentrated.
Zira wants to speak with you.
Have you heard Zira's plan to kill off her own Thieves Guild? Go on, ask her. I'll wait.
Good, you're here. I want to learn whether Magnifica Felora's dowry was truly stolen from her family tomb. If it was, we find out who did. And if it wasn't, we complete the heist that Nicholas began. What's she gonna do? Send a second Iron Wheel? We return to Aldenobia Tomb, bypass the deadliest traps I've ever encountered, and then scour the treasure vaults for anything we can find. I appreciate the confidence, but too many good people died there the first time. We do this right, or we don't do it at all. Perseus Loke can give us an edge. He's one of the few living people to set foot in Magnifica Felora's family tomb. Take Quen and collect him from his shop. Meet the rest of us on the road to Tanith by Prince's Gate. I guarantee Perseus Loke is no friend of the Iron Wheel. He's expecting you at the Diamond Thimble. And he'll be insufferable if you keep him waiting. Nicholas thought his plan to steal the dowry was almost flawless. But almost won't bring our friends back. He didn't have the right people for the job, but I do. Nicholas knew of the dangers within, but not everything. There was a trap. I didn't understand how it worked. Not until it was too late. But this time, I know how it works, and I'll need you by my side to defeat it. Perseus Loke once served Magnifica Felora. When she wore the clothes he designed, she was the envy of Tanith society. But there was a scandal, and he fled here. beyond Tanith's reach. I don't know exactly what happened, but I do know he blames her. She's the heir to the Aldenobia bloodline. Her eldest sister, Zarifa, wed King Faharajad. After Zarifa's death, Valora and the king grew close. But not close. They call her the Jewel of Tanith. Beautiful, cold, and hard as a diamond. Nicholas thought his plan to steal the dowry was almost flawless. But almost won't bring our friends back. He didn't have the right people for the job, but I do.
Off to find Perseus Loke. Meet you there, partner.
Everyone else, pack for a long journey. I'll bring us home safe and sound.
More promises you can't keep.
This plan is unwise, a bit dangerous, but it isn't entirely reckless. As thieves, those are often the best plans we can have.
This is folly. All of it. But if I come along, perhaps half of us will survive our certain doom. I didn't think it was possible to think less of Zira. And here she finds a way.
The death of Princess Lakana was so tragic, but we appreciate your efforts to save her.
Don't cause trouble.
Bit of a mess here. Maybe the clerk can tell us what happened. This doesn't look good. Maybe the clerk knows what happened to Perseus Loke.
This one shall lodge a formal complaint. What right has the Iron Wheel to march in here and smash our merchandise? Thugs. Thugs and hooligans! That's exactly what the Iron Wheel said, but much louder and with the shaking of fists. When they bellowed his name, I heard a loud crash upstairs. A distraction, of course. The Iron Wheel rushed upstairs as he slipped down through some loose floorboards. But he landed feet first in a tub of bright dye, covered his boots to the brim. That's also what the Iron Wheel said. Most of them gave chase. The rest tossed the room upon the floor and then gave chase. If you find him before they do, tell him Mamea deserves a raise.
You follow Loke's trail on the street. I'll see if I can spot him from the rooftops. Hurry! Hurry! The Iron Wheel are on his trail!
What do you want?
Help someone in need? Ah, a friendly face. Good of you to join me on my unexpected jog. And I agree, this isn't my color. They must know of my previous involvement with your guild, though I can't begin to fathom how. Your former guildmaster, Nicholas, was it? He was the soul of discretion. And I am prepared to give Abar's Landing a wide berth. I'd prefer to avoid the Iron Wheel, at least for the time being. Zira mentioned a rendezvous by Prince's Gate, was it? I'd feel safer were someone to escort me there.
Perseus Loke? I'll get you to Prince's Gate, safe and sound.
Would you happen to have a spare set of boots?
I don't think mine will fit you. Come along, we'll work something out.
No better way to test your sartorial skills than to ride a camel while severely overdressed. If the chafing is less than excruciating, you're a true master. I carry a special potion for emergency situations. There are benefits to creating outfits for a certain Mages Guild artificer. Oh, a lifetime ago. I don't speak of this matter, but you did save my life. I once served Magnifica Flora. I confess she became infatuated, but I could not possibly return her feelings. No, and there never will be. Needle, thread, and bolts of cloth are more fulfilling than time spent with any person. But Flora was young. During a family inspection of Aldenobia tomb, she brought me along, hoping to impress me with her family's wealth. I was not allowed inside, but she led me through a side passage. She brought me to a large, frightfully dark chamber. I could feel it breathing. It terrified me. I'm not ashamed to admit I fled out the front door, in full view of her mother. There was a scandal. The Aldenobia bloodline has always had great influence in Tanith, and I soon found myself banished. Not once did Flora speak on my behalf. I understood, of course. She was young and feared her mother, as most nobles do. No, she quite literally ruined my life's work. Had every one of the outfits I'd crafted for her burned in effigy. So, I am happy to share what I know of Aldenobia tomb, as I did with your Nicholas. I carry a special potion for emergency situations. There are...
Everyone's accounted for. Did you have any trouble? Then we leave for the Kingdom of Tanith. The route is tricky and will be considered bandits if we're caught, but getting to the tomb isn't what worries me. If anything happens, well, it won't, because I can count on you. Ready? What about it? Devious traps, vicious guardians, and likely, at the end of it all, a vault full of dust. At least we won't have to worry about the Iron Wheel. I'd rather sit in the den with a bottle of wine and drink until Andari says I've had too much. But I'm in charge, so it doesn't matter what I think. It matters that we go.
Oh, for once I'd like to travel to a remote location and not find the Iron Wheel.
I would avoid engaging the Iron Wheel at all costs. Perhaps find some other way to slip into the tomb. But you are not I, and the world is better for it. For instance, I could never make those pants work.
See how the Iron Wheel litters their camp with traps? Or perhaps you don't. Try not to die out there.
If I may, there is an alternate path inside the tomb. It is likely full of traps, guardians, and prodigious quantities of dust. A small price to avoid the Iron Wheel. Head to the tomb entrance. Keep watch to the side of the path, the right side. You should notice an old trail leading to a sealed entrance. Simply clear the way, and I shall join you to open the door. Oh my, no. The things inside would most certainly kill me. I do know the trick to the door's hidden latch. The rest, I'm certain you can handle yourself.
The last time I was here, the Iron Wheel wasn't camped in front of the tomb. Perfect. Scout ahead and find us a way inside. Clear the way if you care to. The Iron Wheel can't exactly call for reinforcements. You could also sneak past them. We'll track your progress and follow in your footsteps. That's why we brought Perseus Loke. He said something about a side entrance. Speak with him before you go.
There it is! One moment, and I'll have it open. I hope. There we are. Watch for traps in there. The Yokudins did love their traps. I'll wait by the camel. Best of luck inside. Oh, and watch the floors. Deadly traps.
No idea. Last time, Nicholas had me watch the passage behind us. There must be something in his journal.
Anything useful?
Nicholas loved his puzzles. You're welcome to try. Nicholas loved his riddles. His old journal talks about this room, Tuwaka's pillars. He always taught me to look for patterns or differences, things that stood out, or the order of placement.
looks done here.
Well done. Come on, let's go. The journal says this chasm is called Shinji's Truth. Last time, we never made it across.
I can't see the bottom. Is there a bottom?
Throw yourself in. We'll see how long before we hear the splat.
Quen, walk softly. Look for hidden doors or switches. Velsa, you're with me. I need your help to walk Maluk's path.
And what of your protege?
Watching my back, should anyone try to stab it. Let's go.
There must be a way across. I wonder if I can climb the walls. I'd need to find grips on the cliff. There.
We'll search the room. If there's anything to be found, we'll find it. Unless we find gargoyles. I hate gargoyles. Even more than spiders.
Forgive me, my old friends.
What did you say?
Nothing. Velsa, do you see that panel? Put your hand on it until I say otherwise.
For what reason?
When I set foot on Maluk's path, an aura of light will surround me. The darkness cannot harm us as long as you touch the panel.
So, what can harm you?
We could fall to our deaths, or the creatures within could devour us.
Well then, enjoy yourselves.
Velsa knows what to do, but we should speak before we cross.
Leave me be. I have to keep my hand on a panel.
On the other side of Maluk's path is Tall Papa's ewer, a very fancy name for a big vase. According to the journal, we'll need sacred ashes from inside the vase to reach the treasure vaults. So, this is it. We should get going. This is where they died. Edda, Dalder, and Nicholas. Swallowed by the darkness. I'm sorry, I can't talk about this. No use reliving the past, or regretting it. That's fair. Talking about it might calm my nerves. The darkness is unnatural. Breathe it in and it sickens you. To make things worse, the Guardians on the path attack anyone not of Denobia's bloodline. And then there's the path itself. It twists and turns. You don't know where you're going until you're out there. You'll see what I mean. Keep your wits about you. Stay with me inside the light and we'll make it through. I won't let anyone else die in here. Here we go. Don't wander, or the darkness itself will flay you alive. We're still moving. Keep holding the panel. Eden. happened to their bodies? And where is Nicholas? I could hear their screams as I held the switch. I had to do something. I couldn't... This is a dead end. Let's turn back. There must be another way we missed. There's no end to the darkness.
Zira! My arm's getting tired.
Don't you dare release that panel!
Zira! One of the statues gave me a funny look!
Don't antagonize it! We made it. That must be the vase. Sorry. Tall Papa's you. Wait. That lamp belonged to Nicholas. I watched it go out. I heard him die. Felora must have come here to investigate. She could have picked it up and brought it here. Nicholas couldn't have survived. Could he? That lamp definitely belonged to Nicholas. I procured it for him. I saw him drop the lamp. It hit the path and went out. And all I remember is darkness and pain. I... Just grab the ashes so we can leave. I don't want to spend any more time in this place. Bring the ashes. We should return to Quen and walk softly. Velsa? You could let go of the panel.
I know what you did.
What?
I know how they died. How you killed them.
That's low, Velsa. Even for you.
Always had to be the hero. Be the Guildmaster's darling.
You're cracked. I didn't need anyone's approval.
You held the panel. From here you saw the creatures closing in. You thought you could save them. Only you! So you released the panel, grabbed your weapon, rushed out to meet them.
I could have saved them.
Because in your head, you are the hero. But the light faded. The darkness rushed in and ate them alive!
I tried to reach them.
And the darkness tried to eat you alive, so you had to recover from your wounds. That's why you didn't return to Abba's landing. At least not soon enough.
I crawled from the tomb. The darkness... You can't imagine the pain.
You were the only one who could have warned the Guild. Who could tell them the Iron Wheel was coming.
Velsa, stop.
Zira, you were never the hero. You were always a thief. Now, you're just a shadow.
Quen, it's a bad idea.
Words escape me.
Someone tell me what I'm seeing.
We heard strange noises in the chasm. Stone grinding against stone. Quen, well...
I found this invisible bridge.
So you followed my advice and blew yourself into the chasm.
The ashes. Spread them on the bridge to see where it leads. And Quen, get back from there.
Of all the times to take my advice, she decides to do so now.
Do the ashes reveal Shinji's truth?
She just stepped out into nothing! As though she knew it would hold her. maybe she did. Ah, that's confidence I wish I had.
Clear the way. We'll be right behind you. The door to the treasure vaults, just through this crypt. We
Do
made
all
it.
crypts come with whatever that is?
Every tomb needs a guardian. And old Yokuden saying, wasn't it?
Your introduction is formless and without grace. Recite Denobia's maxim.
That's alarming.
Felsa, Quen, walk softly. Stay back. If it's hostile, we'll handle it.
Recite Denobia's maxim, or you shall be deemed trespassers.
It must be some kind of passphrase. If you have any ideas, now's the time to call them out.
You can't seriously expect us to.
Falora!
Yakuda!
Passphrase!
Gaiden Shinji!
Idiots.
Velsa, you aren't even trying.
Trespasser! Denobia's justice falls upon you!
That didn't go as planned.
You're right. I honestly thought it would kill us all.
Come on, let's see what's in the treasure vaults.
Do you want to roll around in a big pile of coins? I feel the urge to roll around in a big pile of coins. None are here, of course, but you can still smell them.
We are standing inside a treasure vault. A real, actual treasure vault. Yes, there's no actual treasure, but I can still say it, can't I?
Empty. All that for nothing. No, that's wrong. There might be a trail that leads us to the dowry. We just need to look around.
We barely made it here alive, yet someone else slipped past the crypt's guardian? Something's off.
What's wrong with that skeleton? Missing its head. It looks like it was hacked off. Must have been done by whoever stole the dowry. But why desecrate a skeleton? We are standing in...
Let me see that. Nicholas used half maps like this. Thin overlays placed atop existing maps. You line them up with common points of reference.
That page, is it from the journal Nicholas kept? Tuwaka watches over you. The passphrase for the Crypt Guardian? I nearly had it.
Nicholas survived somehow. He came here and took Magnifica Felora's dowry for himself. I don't want to believe it, but that's how it seems. Unless I'm missing something. Am I missing something? This is his handwriting, but it could have been taken from his journal by someone else. The skeleton must be Denobia herself. This is her tomb, after all. I don't see what it has to do with Nicholas, missing skull or not. 3 points on this sheet. Nicholas always used Abaz Landing and Noshira Citadel as a reference. If I line up those 2 points... Well now, the 3rd point is in Hughes Bane, out in the middle of nowhere. Trash he left behind? 3 dots on a page are meaningless unless you know the trick. The only people who did were dead on Maluk's path. Head to Hughes Bane. If Nicholas does have a hideout in the desert, it's time we crack it open. This makes no sense. If Nicholas stole the dowry, why didn't he return to the guild? Could he be injured or perhaps trapped? Return to Abaz Landing. I'll meet you at this secret retreat of his. We need to find answers.
I hope this isn't what it looks like. I've never seen Zira, so... taut.
I'm rather busy right now.
Perhaps Nicholas was wounded. Maybe he's trapped and needs our help. Or... well, I'd rather not think of that.
Zira should have known. She should have seen it.
Is it strange that I don't want to find anything? I don't want to believe Nicholas abandoned us, even though it's probably true. We should look around. Papers. Signed by Kosh? What are those doing here? Nicholas had a disguise kit just like this one. In fact, this is his disguise kit. Ancient Yakutan coins, stamped with the likeness of Denobia. Those must be from the dowry. Look closely. There's a hollow crystal with... is that blood inside? Whose blood? I know how Nicholas survived Maluk's path. The crystal must contain Aldenobia blood. Maluk's path would ignore you if you held it. You'd need a lamp to find your way through the darkness so you could grab a handful of ashes. From there, all you'd need is the Crypt Guardian's passphrase. I've seen enough. Nicholas faked his death and stole the dowry. Now he's working with that merchant lord, Kosh. To think I mourned that bastard. Nicholas would have kept such a thing from the guild. The less they know, the less trouble they'll cause. But I'm going to tell the Thieves Guild. I want them to cause a world of trouble, and I want to lay it all on his doorstep. Let's go. I'll meet you at the...